Do you think The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time would have played much differently if it was The Legend of Zelda: Macarenas of Time?
No, I think there would have been some UI for some Macarenas, and I can't even picture what those look like off the top of my head. But I'm just really picturing maracas, so I could be way off. But I think the
That's what I
UI,
meant.
maracas of time, is that what we're going with?
Yes, sorry, not the dance, the shaky things.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like either could work. Well, I don't know how you do the UI for the dance, but the shaky thing, yeah, it's like it'd be funny because you would just have a picture of a maraca come up, but then every button that you press it would just make the same sound. So the song that you're playing is just the same rattling sound like 5 times in a row. And then I would just keep the rest of the game exactly the same. And I would give Sheik a sombrero, and then that's the only thing I would change.
So thank you very much. Which character in media is most likely to assume that claustrophobia is a fear of crabs?
A fear of crabs?
Yes.
Um, this is a character in any media or just in video games?
Well, you can take it. Well, the intention would be video games, but if you want to spread it, as I wrote the question wrong, if you want to spread it to which character in any media is most likely to assume that claustrophobia is a fear of crabs, yes.
Um, any media, maybe Luffy. In just video games. Oh man, that's tough. I don't know who's dumb in video games. Uh, uh, oh man, it's tough. Hmm. um, this is a totally random reference because I don't even play those games, but I'm gonna go with the blonde kid from Persona 4. I've got a friend, one of my best friends working in Persona, so he's gonna really appreciate that comment. I don't even know that character's name. I've played like 2 hours of that game, but that's who I'm gonna go with. I think his name is like Yosuke or something.
The blonde kid is Kenji, I want to say. It's been a few years, but I regardless, I agree. I can see it.
Is
Um,
is he the one where the fat lady sits on his bike and breaks it? Because that's who I'm talking about. Is he blonde or am I making that up?
so so in Persona 4, there's the bleach blonde character who's kind of like the rebel punk kid, and then there's I it's brown hair, but I think under the right light, one could argue it's platinum blonde,
Is
maybe.
there anything yellow about him? Is he in like clothes of that color? Because for some reason I'm getting blonde in my memory, and I don't know where that's coming from.
It's been too many years. I'm sorry to try and remember this. Yeah, it's been too long since I played for Persona 4. And in this case, it'd be Persona 4 Golden, I want to say. So yeah, I'm that one I played on the PlayStation Vita, so my memory is even hazier because I did that right before bed every night for like a month or two.
Yeah.
I'll hit you with one more.
Okay.
Uh, if the graphics of the first game you played were swapped with the last game you played, which game do you think would be better?
Um. So taking those two games, so the graphics are swapped. I see what you're saying. Okay, so all right. First, I think the first video game I ever played, it was either, and only OG fans remember this, it was either Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge on Game Boy, or it was Six Golden Coins on Game Boy. Let's go with Mega Man because I think it was that one. And the last game I played was just like in terms of chronological time, literally the last game I played was Pokemon Pearl because I'm currently replaying that on my 3DS. So if you swap those graphics, really nothing changes. Because Pokemon used to look like that, and Mega Man games looked like that a few years later, so that would kind of work out pretty well. If you swap it with the game that I normally play, that would be Rocket League, and Dr. Wily's Revenge with those kind of graphics would be sick, and I would buy that in a heartbeat. And Rocket League would not work with Game Boy style graphics, and I think that would be a huge issue. I think that my score ratio would go down significantly. I would be throwing the controller through the screen before the first minute was done, and I think we'd have a lot of issues. So I think that's the answer I'm going to go with.
So thank you very much. And now in this case, I think you meant you'd be throwing the Game Boy through the screen.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. I'd be throwing the Game Boy through my TV, which would just be off in the corner.
Such an odd thing to aim for
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
mad and throwing the Game Boy, right?
I need to break as many screens as possible in my house in one fell motion.
Look, I have bad news for you. As someone that just cleaned up their original DMG Game Boy and replaced the screen protector, that thing would not break. That thing would take it like a tank.
Yeah, I'm sure that it would. Yeah.
A few scuffs and it would turn right. It would still be on. It would still just be
Yeah,
chugging
and
away.
nothing. The Game Boy doesn't even turn off. It just goes through the TV like a brick.
But no, Jack, thank you very much for participating in the lightning round.